Believe it or not, this is about me 2 years into the gym. And then here's just 1 year later. You see, the thing that happened in between that year is that I discovered the secret reason I wasn't making gains. And in this video, if you just put your trust in me, you will not suffer that same problem. You see, for most of my weightlifting career, I wasn't training till failure because I just didn't realize that I was meant to, and I didn't actually realize what it felt like. I know that sounds weird, like how do you not know what training till failure feels like? But I'm the type of person, and I'm guessing you're probably the same if you're watching this YouTube video. We are the types of people who need something explained in vivid detail to understand it. That you couldn't just tell me train till failure. You needed to explain to me what training till failure looked like and how I could do it for myself. And I'm gonna be your Lord and Savior, not like in a blasphemous way, but I'm basically just gonna save you from this problem. Right. And additionally, I should have mentioned, I also wasn't progressively overloading correctly. My progressive overload was all over the place, and if you don't, you see, with weightlifting, you need to almost be like a scientist. And if you're changing around variables willy-nilly, you're not going to see consistent results. You're not going to have reliable results. And you don't know what the key variable is to actually getting you gains. And I know that's just like a bunch of like science spiel. Don't worry about it. I would recommend with progressive overload, really quickly, you start with a 10 to 15 rep range and pick a weight you can do for like 10 to 15 reps. Basically, just do 3 sets, and once you go from 10 to 15 reps on all 3 sets, then increase the weight and just continue on that. I have other progressive overload videos on my channel going into more detail, but that's like the short version. The lighting's getting worse as a record. Hold on. Is this method? That might be the method. Hold on. Hold on, wait a minute. This might be the method. Yeah, this is the method, actually. So, back onto what I said earlier. YouTubers don't explain things in simple terms, and they don't... Hold on, let me change the lighting. Just gotta charge it to the game. You see, YouTubers explain things in a way that keeps you paying attention. But it doesn't actually just give you the information, because even this video, to be honest, I could probably just give you the answer within the first 1 minute. But how is that beneficial to me? Like, let me tell you the truth. There's not many YouTubers on this platform who are just spreading information for the goodwill of humanity. We want something in return. And that thing is money, status, respect, things along those lines. But how do we get that? Well, we keep your attention hooked. We try and sound smarter than we actually are. You know, stuff like that. I know you've heard that before, but please believe me, as a YouTuber, I'm spreading the secret. That's how this game is played. Like, I'm recording for about 4 minutes and 24 seconds. The information here is like a minute long. Like, I'll be honest with you, like, the key information is a minute long if you just wanted a ChatGPT answer. But in fairness to us, if I just gave you the answer in 1 minute, you already probably knew the answer, but the reason you haven't taken action on it is because it's not been explained to you in thorough detail as I will do for you. With that being said, let's get on to how you actually intensely train. Training till failure is probably it is the most important part of building muscle. If you don't train till failure, you're not going to build muscle. It's just a fact. Yo, oh my gosh, like, this is bad. The lighting is just... Bro, the lighting was way better like 5 minutes ago. Hold on. Okay, so how do we know where failure actually is? Because this is something I struggled with. Failure is at the point where you physically can't do another rep. Not just because it hurts, but because you physically can't push it anymore. This is, if you imagine a push-up, this is at the point where no matter how hard you try, despite all the pain, you physically cannot push yourself up anymore. That would be failure. So, I know this sounds pretty straightforward. Just do reps until you can't do them anymore. Like, that's it. And one pro tip I would give with this is make sure you pick the right weight. The right weight is so important because if you don't pick the right weight, you'll be able to do reps that hurt but aren't close to failure. So you'll feel burning, but you're not actually like slowing down the reps. You can keep on going. It hurts, but it's not actually, you're not getting closer to failure basically. But when you pick the right weight, the burning will occur closer to the point of failure, which means that, because the burning honestly hurts more than going till failure. If you pick the right weight, failure is actually pretty simple and easy. Not easy to get to per se, but it's not like, oh my gosh, when am I gonna get till failure? It's literally just like, okay, I know I'm close to failure now, I'm slowing down the reps, etc. And one other tip, it's to get angry. I know that sounds like cringe. Oh, the demons in the gym. I know that's like, it sounds strange to say that, and like people, like, bro, flipping the internet is like trying to make it seem like, oh, my dark thoughts in the gym. Yeah, I'm so Sigma Alpha Wolf. Like, oh, the Sigma inside of me is just released in the gym. It's like, you know what I mean? It's cringe, but undeniably, it is beneficial to get angry in the gym. And when I mean angry, I mean like you're thinking about, like, say if you got bullied, you think about the guy who bullied you. And you think, the closer I get to failure, the bigger my muscles, and I'll be stronger than him, and I'll beat him up in the future. I know that sounds like obviously I've said that really monotone, but like if you were to think that with emotion, with energy, I promise you will push harder in the gym. Every time, put it like this, every time I've used those dark, angry, negative emotions during my sets, they've been better sets. It's just as simple as that. I promise you, believe me, I promise you, angry thoughts will get you to failure. Not like, even if you had like the wrong weight and stuff, like you would just push till failure. It's an unscientifically proven fact. What more is there to say? How else could one achieve failure? Also, if you can, don't make excuses that I like being alone in the gym, blah blah blah. Just hear this advice. If you can get a training partner who's further ahead of you in this journey, they will be able to help you get closer till failure. And as well, even if they aren't further ahead of you in this journey, just ask them, like, can you make sure I'm actually achieving failure? Describe what you've, maybe tell them, like, I watched this video from Alfie. He told me that I need to move the weight until I physically can't anymore, not just because it hurts or I get tired. Literally just like I'm making weird faces, like, and you can't push it up anymore. Can you make sure I achieve that before I like stop? And then obviously the training partner will be like, yeah, of course, and then you do that, right? Basically, get a training partner. They are really helpful. There was a quote that I learned from Alex Hormozy, and he said, "Your nose is 1 inch away from your mouth, but you need someone else to tell you your breath stinks." I hope you're intelligent enough to understand what that quote means. But I'll try and explain it. It's kind of like, you may have flaws that you don't even notice, and you need to have someone else tell you what those flaws are. Like, say for example, when you're trying to correct your phone, what's a good piece of advice? Record yourself, or get someone else to correct your form, right? It's the same thing when you're actually going till failure. It doesn't just apply to form, it applies to anything that requires you to... My brain just went blank. Anything that requires you to, like, correct yourself, I guess you could say. Now, if you want to learn more about training till failure, by the way, I've got a full aesthetic body course in the description. It'll give you everything you need. And I promise you, that is it's just the truth. Like, I don't have to say it with emotion. It's just a cold-hearted fact. My aesthetic body course is the most valuable, most informational, most educational course in the industry. In the industry, you will know everything you need to know to build an aesthetic, attractive physique that gets respect from men and attraction from women. Just a fact. Do with that what you will. But there's no pressure. If you don't want to buy anything, you don't have the money, blah blah blah, it's cool. My free videos are still better than most of the industries anyway, so you're not like missing out much. It's just like, if you want to invest more into your education, it's there and it's available. You see, my goal with this YouTube channel is to give young men the real type of bodybuilding knowledge they need and that they want. You don't want to build a sexy, attractive physique just to have like the achievement, like the platinum trophy achievement. You wanted something out of it. You wanted girls. You wanted respect from men. And you can get those things, but only if you admit to yourself that you want them. And once you've admitted to yourself that you want those things, that's when you actually take this journey seriously. That's when you start getting into the gym. That's when you learn like specific things, like the 6 aesthetic muscles that really make the V-tape and why the V-tape is attractive. You just start learning stuff like that. And I promise you, you will learn it all here. So if you don't want to miss out on this lifetime, like basically a lifetime opportunity to build your dream physique and keep it, subscribe right now. Safe.